ability.
No, but you could still
each
grab
other,
even while
yeah.
you're floating. And then imagine you pull your pull-out game.
Yeah, and then when you come,
Space cum.
it just flies.
How do you clean that up?
Yeah.
You go like this. Y'all hear about the 2 astronauts that went to space for a total of 8 days, but really they're gonna be stuck there potentially until 2025.
What?
What happened?
What?
Did their spaceship got like lost?
2 American astronauts blasted off on a test mission to the International Space Station.
Wow, they still need a test. They've
It's a
been
very
doing this for a
mid-movie, by
long
the way,
time.
ISS.
Really?
They went on June 5th. It's the day after my birthday. Mark it. They were expecting to be back home in a matter of days, but things didn't go quite as planned.
They ran out of rocket fuel.
No. Barry, quote, Butch Wilmore, that's type, and Sunita Williams are still there floating high above the Earth 2 months later already. They were stuck there actually because a Boeing Starliner spacecraft was supposed to take them to the station. They made it there, but there were some kind of like funky problems, if you will.
Did the chair break and fly out of the window like the other Boeing flight?
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, the chair broke and flew out of the window, but they survived somehow.
That's tight.
Yes. They had leaks in the propulsion system, and some of its thrusters were shutting down. So it's kind of a bumpy ride, but they did eventually make it to the space station. However, because of that was their like literal spacecraft to get home as well. They deemed it like unsafe to make sure that they can come back unless they did tests. So they took basically a replica model of the same spacecraft that flew up there, and they're doing a shitload of cognitive tests down here on Earth in order to figure out what problems happened or why it malfunctioned like that. They still haven't exactly figured out the problem.
Weird.
Yeah, but for that reason, they don't want to officially approve them being able to go back on that same spacecraft.
So it's for like safety precautions.
Yeah. Because that's way worse if something happens and they die, right?
They ain't got another
Keeping them
one?
for like half a year.
Like SpaceX can't be like, I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Ironically, here's the thing. SpaceX can pick them up because SpaceX has a mission to go out there, a manned spacecraft, on their Falcon jet, which has done many trips back and forth already. Wow. They have a trip going out there in September. However, Boeing got that multi-billion-dollar NASA whatever deal in order to be like the kind of fucking jet engineer architect situation partnership with this. So Boeing's like pissed at the idea that SpaceX would go and save the day.
Because they gained exclusivity.
Yeah, and if SpaceX goes and gets these astronauts, then I think that nulls the contract that they were given. Or
Yeah, because it's like you've been sucking, Boeing.
Yeah.
SpaceX should have it now.
Damn. Boeing's just in trouble right now, huh?
Yeah,
They're just messing up.
Their whistleblowers keep dying too, because they get sick.
Yeah, the flight, sorry, it wasn't the Falcon, it's the Dragon. The flight to the space station will be made by SpaceX Crew Dragon. The initial plan was for the 4-member crews to be aboard, but 2 of the seats could be empty or left empty if needed in order to bring the 2 astronauts home. The plan would mean astronauts would spend more than 8 months total rather than 8 days aboard the International Space Station. If the Crew Dragon is used, the Starliner craft would be returned to Earth without any crew under computer control. NASA officials said it could take a week or more for a final decision to be made.
That's crazy. I always knew that, like, in these movies where someone's stranded in space, it would ultimately be bureaucracy that keeps them there.
Damn. Just like the movie.
Well, what happened in Interstellar?
No, don't tell me.
I forgot what
A
happened.
lot more sensible than what's happening here.
All we know is that when they go through the wormhole, we're going dicks out. If you know that reference, you're a true fan.
But what happened in Armageddon though?
That is when what's-his-face jumps on the rocket, starts singing.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he's an oil rig guy.
Yeah. Then you know exactly what happens. They do the analogy that if you take a fucking rock and you try to blow the astronaut, it's gonna go psh, nothing's gonna happen. But if you blow it up from the inside, psh.
So he stayed there.
What?
Yep, he stayed on the rock.
You know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't the government that made him do it.
That was Deep Impact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In real life, it's much more tragic because it's like they're red taping themselves. Yeah.
So they may not be able to get out till 2025.
Why the government?
If they stay with Boeing.
How do they even survive till then? Especially.
Right.
So they do have reserves there that, and of course, just like fucking the Matt Damon movie, the Mars one.
Yeah, well, you see, Nick, they
Like
have
you
this.
just ration your stuff out, you know what I mean, and make it work.
They've got these little packets, and it's got this ice cream in it that's kind of specially for astronauts.
If I was on board, I'd eat that in probably like 3 days.
I'd be so hungry.
You got to get your macros.
Yeah,
in.
I'm like, this is not even that much protein.
That would be the worst thing when you're bored as fuck and you have to ration food out. Because I feel like I eat when I'm bored.
Yeah.
But then if I'm busy, then you're just like in the zone. You're like, oh, I forgot to eat. And then I think that's the best times.
I do think though that if you kick into actual survival, like that's some real shit.
You have a big enough
You'd
reason
be able
why.
to do it.
No, I just kill myself.
No, if anything, you kill
If
the
I
other
was-
person, so you have double the rations.
But
No,
that's
if
like,
I was in Mars, I opened up the spacesuit on them and then me.
but in order
On the triple homicide.
In space, boy.
in order to get to this position at all, they've got to have some kind of training, knowing that this could possibly happen, right? So they're not like going completely psycho.
Earlier this week, NASA used a SpaceX rocket to deliver more food and supplies to the ISS.
Oh, so they're already using.
It's like, just go get them. Fuck.
Damn, dude.
That sucks.
That's laziness. Here's another example of government
Laziness.
laziness. The government being, I'm so lazy right now. I don't want to do it.
That's like corporate greed.
Yeah, I know. Huh.
Damn.
Dude, Boeing's taking.
I want to be the guy. Why do people still support this company? Huh?
Because you have the choice.
I know, that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fly these fuckers anymore. And I'm like, well, this is the only airplane that they use.
What's the other brand? Airbus?
Yeah, but I don't know any other. It's like if I have really good points on Delta, I have to.
I'm gonna use Delta. Yeah.
I have to use that plane, or else I'll lose my points.
I worked so hard for those points.
I have hundreds of thousands of points.
That's legit, boy.
Boeing was hoping that the maiden Starliner mission would pave the way for regular use of its capsule for missions back and forth to the station. SpaceX Crew Dragon has been approved for NASA missions since 2020. So it's like clear that SpaceX is killing it, but Boeing obviously is in direct competition. So it's a soft spot. They can't just have SpaceX come in and save their people.
That's so whack.
That would be literally the worst PR thing that could happen to them.
I feel like it's so much bigger than that, though.
Crashing. What?
It's so much bigger than just like a PR nightmare and all that.
It's money.
I know, but it sucks that these people's lives are at risk just because it's like they don't want to make a deal.
Yeah, it's like those Teslas that break down, and then they have to be like, someone in a regular gas truck comes along and helps them.
The longest somebody spent in space is 437 days, which is a Russian.
Matt Damon.
Well, at least they have each other. They're not alone, right?
Matt Damon.
They're not alone. It's two of them, right?
Yeah.
And is it a boy and a girl?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
SpaceX.
Oh, actually, Oleg
Whack.
Kononenko, another person from Russia,
Lack of gravity.
currently
That'd be
aboard the
cool.
ISS, is the first person to have spent more than 1,000 days in space during the course of their career. But I think that's total. I don't think that's straight.
SpaceX probably suck. You probably can't get leverage.
Do they have to be there for?
Or you're just kind of like, I mean, do you think of it stuff?
Can't put your fucking foot down.
How many days do they got to be there for?
Well, it's unknown right now.
But till 2025?
Potentially. Could be like over 8 months.
Can they sunbathe though? Cause like, that's important. You go crazy. Yeah.
Don't they do like sunwalks in their spacesuits?
Maybe.
You've got to be curious about sex in space.
Right.
Like, there's a difference between Mile High Club and like 1,000 Mile High Club.
But I bet it sucks. You probably can't get your footing down, dude. You can't get.
You just keep floating?
No, but you can
You have
still
each
grab
other,
even while
yeah.
you're floating. And then imagine your pullout game.
Yeah, and then when you come,
Space cum.
it just flies.
How do you clean that up?
Yeah.
You go like this.
Kalyne, she eats it.
She swims to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not-
dude.
That's right.
That's crazy, right?
Right?
Jizz in space is
Yeah, What if
crazy.
you don't miss? What if you miss
She's
a few
like-
drops? It's everywhere.
Whoa.
Wait, can't you just turn it off, the
You know,
gravity
it's a
stuff?
little dangerous. Like that could like seep into the mechanics.
I don't know.
And then the guy's like, "Oh, don't get it on me! Don't get it on me!" Oh God, jeez!
I'm gay. I'm not gay.
Oh, I got my hair. Oh my!
Who's been having sex in here?
There's just a bunch of jizz floating everywhere. But is it always just non-gravity, right? They can't.
They can turn it off, right?
You turn that shit off. Or is that just in the movies, brother?
Do you think they're gonna know each other?
I would assume
Right?
in
That'd be so
natural,
cool.
because gravity, they don't just turn it off. The way they do gravity is they spin the space station. So if they spin it at enough force, proportionate to its size, then it creates a gravitational force away from the center of it.
Holy shit! You're
Do you think they're
full
gonna
gravity.
think they're gonna annoy each other?
But also, I'm not smart enough to know if you're lying or not.
I just believe you.
I believe it. You sound confident.
You know
sounds
when
right,
you know
but
when things like this happen and it's all over the news.
It's a plate.
I wonder how fast the book rights get bought and the movie rights get bought for like disasters that haven't yet solved itself.
That's crazy because there's got to be a barometer of like, hey, this is insensitive to begin this process now, or shit, they're already running. Let's hurry up and expedite this.
Yeah.
Well, they could communicate with Houston, right? They'll be like typing.
That's home base.
What if that's the problem? What if they sold the rights? Like, what if NASA sold the rights to this situation already, and in the story, they get saved by NASA? So they're like, we can't have SpaceX up there.
Yeah.
We sold the script.
Nobody wants a third-party savior.
Yeah.
That's true.